Hey guys, Harv here, and welcome back to the Kerbal space program. This is the International Subscriber Space Station, the series of videos in which we take viewer-submitted modules, dock them together to create one massive, community-developed and YouTuber-assembled space station. And I'm so excited for this episode because this is the probes. I am not depressed whatsoever. I'm actually really elated and excited to be doing this episode because last time we had those escape pods and they were big and clunky and, you know, I had a hard time getting that to work. But here we have 4 different slots for probes, which means we have 4 different probes lined up for today's episode. Now I have a list here. Hang on a second. I have a list with all the probe names of the creators. So to start off with, we have the ISSS probe. Nice and simple. Let me find this in our folder. The ISSS probe, it should be called. There we go. The ISSS probe. 27 parts of 2 stages. This is submitted by tgnass, or tgnass, or tgnass. Tgnass? That might be interesting. tgnass, that one. And this is very complicated. Exactly what I wanted. It's just, you know, a little probe. It's like a probe kind of probe thing. It's brilliant. Does it have RCS on it? Yes, it has RCS. So we can actually dock this thing with itself. Very nice to know. Next up on the list we have ISSS probe equaluate. Where is it? ISSS probe equaluate. There should be a U after that Q, surely. I don't know. It's probably a reference to something. Most things. This is very different. Yeah, most things usually are. Equaluate. Now, this docking port's here. Is that going to be a problem? I guess we'll find out. Hopefully not. We have communications and stuff. Is there RCS? No. Okay. But that's fine, because this is on the side. Meaning we should be able to put RCS underneath it, some sort of module. We can sort that out, that's not a problem. Okay, and third, penultimately, we have the some sort of probe, Flimflambro Comsat. This is the Comsat probe, submitted by MGUARN. Please tell me how to pronounce your name. God damn it. I just can't. I've got no idea. Trust me. It's off a weird angle this is, isn't it? It's very nice. Very nice indeed. We might try a non-RCS. Oh no, we have a perfect RCS here. Thank you. You've submitted this for us. And a little booster module as well. That's nice, but I'm not. We might be taking that off. I'm not sure. Probably. Just so I can do a uniform kind of thing. So that is our third. Now finally, the ultimate probe is the where is it? The Pip Switch 200. Particularly like this name, the Pip Switch 200, submitted to us by flashiynk. It's not actually spelled flashiynk, but to me it looks like, because it's flash I and then yunk. So flashiynk. I'm going to call you flashiynk. Hope that was what you're going for. Yes, very compact. We have our solar panels, we have generators, we have all sorts of lovely things. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now I just need to make sure those are the... yeah, those are definitely junior ones. Alright. So, first of all, before we commit ourselves to doing anything, we're going to take a look at... no, we actually want to go back. We're going to take a look at our space station. At our massive thing we have in orbit, thingy-majobby, International Subscriber Space Station. Love that so much. It just rolls off the tongue. The International Subscriber Space Station. It is a snow day today in Britain. The evil Russian cloud has come over from across like Antarctic winds or some combination of evil conditions, which means that we have got loads of snow blocking up doorways and everything. It's amazing. No school whatsoever. And look at this, we have our space station. So yes, these are all junior docking ports. So we can put our probes on here, no problem, I'd say. They are on struts. Thank you very much again to Twilight's favourite Quill, the creator of this core, because those struts are definitely useful there. And it's not like it's going to collide. So yeah, I think we have enough room. What we can do, and I might do this now actually. Yes, I think I'm going to do this now. You'll like this, hopefully. Where are our pilots? No, that's not what I wanted to press. I wanted to press C. There we go. Ah, he's got no windows here. That's not very good. How about you? You are underneath, or on top of the escape pods. Or underneath, depending on your perspective. Yes, okay. So, we are going to do this. Undock. Oh. There we go. Now, all we need to do is just turn. Just turn until we are perfectly in the center. You'll see I want this docking port to be just about there. About there. There we go. Right, and now we just need to set this as our target. RCS turn on. Go backwards just a little. No, that's forwards. Is it going to dock immediately? Please do. No, okay. Never mind. We'll go backwards. And we'll go back towards it. No problemo. Okay, and back in. We should be able to dock straight away. Turn that off. Are we still aligned correctly? It's not perfect. Oh shit, wait, actually that's... We're actually off. Oh damn. Wait, no, back. Back. This is more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Will all those RCS ports just stop flickering? It's really annoying. I just want to... Maybe easier to do the other one. I think it might be actually. Where is Jebediah Kerman? Ah. He's in this half. Ah. Okay. Well, I guess we're stuck to doing this. I want to turn all the RCS thrusters off. Except for a few. That's never going to happen. We're just going to deal with it. It's not like we're going to run out of RCS. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Actually, we might run out of RCS. Holy shit. Sorry, swearing. Not supposed to swear. Yeah, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this, should I? No. I shouldn't have. Hang on a second. Right. Okay, running out, but it's okay, we're getting closer again. Yes, I have this under control, you see? I'm amazing. And all that. That's down. Up. Okay, it's basically done. Okay, now we need to be going left, which is this way. Okay. Right. I'm not going to check. Okay, I'm going to check resources. Okay, we're doing okay, I suppose. And now get ready. We should maybe might be able to make it. Can I change orientation, please? Yes. Now there, perfect. Stay there. Oh no, wait, it did exactly the opposite of the intention at the start. That is literally the opposite of where I wanted to go in the first place. And now the whole thing is shaking like crazy. Oh, damn it. Yeah, you know what, screw it. Okay, we're fine. So here we are compiling the creation and mission flight of 3 different probes into one. Now, bearing in mind in the previous episode, I did everything live commentary, and I was lifting a much heavier payload, so this is entirely sped up, sometimes to ludicrous rates, because it's not a tutorial on how to build it or anything, and I'm only really showing it for purpose of remaining interested, documenting the entire thing, more like. So you might have guessed, as I did, that this launcher we are building here is extremely overpowered. It's just not necessary to put this much fuel into something that's lifting one little probe. But oh well, I didn't really think much about that. I just wanted to go with what worked. Later on we change it. Actually, I think in every single probe launcher it gets changed. But whatever the case. Also, those fuel lines seem to be connected to the wrong place. But whatever the case, we have here the nearly finished construction of our Flimflambro Comsat Mark I launcher. Yes, very nearly done. Now it turns out that fuel lines don't need to be put from every single fuel tank to the centre. Don't need to do that. All you need to do is on the last pair, because the fuel is draining through from the first pair to the second pair to the third pair to the centre. So you only need to have 2 fuel lines going into the centre. Okay, we are launching, we are dropping that first pair, and now dropping the second pair, starting our gravity turn a bit later because we are going straight into the insertion in the interests of saving time. And now you see we drop that pair, spinning around a little bit, and we are getting up to orbital altitude. Now at this point, it's just orbital rendezvous. It's nothing that you guys haven't really seen before, so we can skip over that, get to our encounter, and we are coming in with the first of 4 probes. Our Comsat probe. You can see we have a ridiculous amount of fuel. Just look in the bottom left. The fuel gauge is massive. And we nearly hit that then. Just like to point that out. Yeah, we nearly hit that. That wasn't great. But it's just this big unwieldy tank. We could use something 1/4 of the size of this. Hell, we could use something maybe 1/16 the size of this tank. Really, we really could. I don't know why I didn't think to, but we will change it around. But still, in every one of the 4 missions we fly in this episode, it just, we have way too much fuel. But oh well, we succeed. So spoilers. We jettison that, and we are going to leave it there, not going to bother getting rid of it just yet. And now we are using our RCS package that we've put on the bottom of this probe in order to move this around. Way too much RCS fuel, but oh well, it's not really a hindrance, so it doesn't really matter. What I'm doing right now is moving the retrograde marker over the reticule. Over the retrograde reticule. Now the prograde marker over the prograde reticule. You know, the direction that the target is in, reticule. Thingamajobby. And look at this station. This station is pretty freaking awesome. I have to say, we brought it a long way from that one single core. We have escape pods, we have a power plant, we have loads of room left to add extra things on. We have our mobility module, which is actually kind of useless, but whatever. I guess it could just be an RCS store, couldn't it? Yeah. And we also have storage for humans. I mean, we have 12 places in our escape modules. 4 3-seaters. And there we go, the first docking. Now we have our Comsat probe all docked and ready to go. We can jettison that RCS tank and end its flight, and then we'll switch, there we go, end its flight, and then we shall go back in, switch to that tank and end its flight. First one down, just 3 left to go. Whew, man, look at it, it's nice and compact, unlike some of the other ones. But yes, it is nice and compact indeed. And we can actually open it out. You can see there with the solar panels and everything else. It looks pretty damn good. On to the second. So we can load it up. This is the ISSS probe. with its lots of many different parts. Originally I was going to actually rebuild these all and put them on one launcher. It's just going to be the one launcher, going to try and rebuild them all, put them on the sides, and that took hours, and in the end it didn't work, so yeah, I ended up wasting loads of time on that as well, but never mind, because this was such a resounding success that it didn't really matter. You can see at the top we've, well, you can't see right now, but earlier you could see at the top we've put a quarter tank and a small LV-909 engine, which actually turns out to be a bit silly, because we get less thrust, which isn't a problem, but we get higher efficiency. Well, higher thrust to weight ratio, which results in a higher efficiency. The ISP is actually the same, I think, or nearly the same as the big Poodle engine. But yeah, again, we end up with loads of fuel left, largely because this stage we have six stacks of 3 tank and 1 engine modules. Way too much on liftoff. And we end up doing most of our burn with the center 3 fuel tanks and 1 engine. And again, it's big, unwieldy. At least this one looked a bit more compact. Certainly not streamlined, not in the slightest. I really hope that they get round to putting in a better aerodynamic model, because at the moment I do not care for aerodynamics whatsoever. Certainly not. We're getting it up to our orbital altitude. We are, jettisoning all that, and later on we have jettisoned from the big unwieldy tank, warping round, getting our space station closer. We can burn retrograde to drop down into the same orbit as it, and hopefully get our encounter straight away. Yes, straight away. There we go. We're at 2.4 separation, 2.4 kilometers. Get closer, swivel around, point retrograde to the target velocity vector until we are traveling just towards it. We actually change our inclination a little. Just want to be pointing. We want to get the prograde marker over the ping reticule. That is always the aim. That is always the aim, and we have to keep on adjusting, as you can see, because space is warped. Coming in closer, about 500 meters. There we go. I think it's about time we jettison this. And look how little fuel we've used. We have just a quarter tank, and the bar is full. Liquid fuel, 353 out of 360. That is just ridiculous. Admittedly, it's good to have just in case, as we swivel around and detach, pointing towards it so we get a bit of a boost in its direction. But it's just a waste of mass at liftoff. We could probably do this with a really minimalistic rocket, and in fact I might do that later on just to prove it. But not in this episode. Yes, we can see the previously docked probe just there. Now the problem I had with each probe was that the RCS thrusters weren't at the centre of mass, and it wouldn't have made sense to try and put them at the centre of mass. It would have involved shifting around the design too much, because there are just some surfaces you can't put them on. Could have put struts and then put the thrusters on the struts. Didn't think about that. But whatever the case, here we have our second probe, and it is now docked. Docked. There we go. Docked. And the whole thing starts spinning crazily and wobbling, and yeah, that really worried me actually, because I didn't think about symmetrical. I didn't think about symmetry. Certainly not, because I mean, come on, they're probes, they're pretty light, it's not going to affect it all that much, is it? But you can see the camera angle goes really weird, and it carries on going out of control. I honestly thought I'd kind of ruined it, and I might have had to rethink what I was doing, but it turned out okay in the end. We have our second probe proudly sitting on the end, and that is it for the second probe. 2 down, and only 2 more left to go. See the camera angle, really weird. Don't know why it does that. It seems to shift away from the centre of mass. Back to the VAB with our probe equaluate, or whatever. This has actually come already pre-built, not from the owner. I did some messing around earlier. Here's me actually moving things, trying to get that centre of mass to as close to the thrusters as possible, but it is in the end futile. Yeah, I pre-built a launch stage and I was messing around, and you can see it's way overpowered. So what I do, I strip off the top layer, using only two tanks above each engine, not 3, which actually results in it having way too much thrust. And for some reason I can't place struts there. I don't know what's going on, but place 4 up there, it doesn't really matter, or 6. And yeah, again, I've just got too much fuel for the purpose. I think no, this was done on a different day, that's why. Yeah, I recorded the final 2 probes on a different day to the first 2 probes. That was yesterday. And I'd forgotten the success of the previous designs, kind of. So, whatever the case, we have a design here, and it works, largely. Almost. I'm trying to use 6 times symmetry as well. This is the problem. This is what I was testing. I've tried to use 6 times symmetry. So I've done the separation in individual. I've added fuel lines on single symmetry. Because this is in response to a comment saying, oh, why didn't you just use 6 times symmetry and then separate them out in pairs? And this is what happens. We shall see as soon as I get my staging correct. Not really necessary for you to see this, I admit, but in the interest of seeing why I can't just do it in 6 times symmetry, we'll take this to the launch pad. There we go, it's loaded, and now we throttle up and burn, and we instantly get loads of wobbling, because I didn't do the gimbaling thing, and it starts draining at different rates. Look at the fuel lines in the bottom left. It just, yeah, didn't work, put it that way. It just didn't work. For some reason, no matter what the fuel lines are placed, no matter that it's all correct, it just doesn't work. So let's sort this out, shall we? There we go. We're actually going to try a bit more of a minimalistic design, using just the 1 engine. Poorly thought out, not really great, but whatever, just go for it anyway. Yeah, also using more engines than necessary, but I just was interested in seeing how far this would go. And it turns out, not very far. That's all we really need to see from this, I think. So let's go back to the vehicle assembly building and actually build ourselves a proper stage. Again, using a half-size tank, and 3 tanks on the main engine. Just too much fuel. Really do need to try a minimalistic probe launcher, I think, using air-breathing engines or something to get up to geostationary or keostationary altitude. I should try doing that. Oh, and I've put the struts leading from the top onto the struts we are using to keep the bottom engine and the original engine separated, stuck together. I've put these struts onto that and connected it all, and it looks awesome and stuff. And I was really proud of that, you know. Oh, I see what we're doing here. We're actually using 4 tanks. And we're using 4 times symmetry of 4 tanks. Trying again to actually see if it works. And it does actually work better. So it's something about 6 times symmetry. Something about dealing with pairs of 2. Pairs? A pair is 2, Harvey. God. Dealing with 3 pairs at a time. No, it makes the game go weird. Whatever the case, we jettison that completely fine. And we are left with our craft here on its way, blasting up to get into an orbit. And we get into an orbit, and we get our inclination and all that sorted, and we get our encounter. 9 kilometers something. Now it turns out I actually need to get a bit closer, and later on this becomes a problem. But I seem not able to get a straight off encounter for some reason. I don't know what it is. So I just burn some more and try and adjust later on. 9 kilometers, 8, 4, there we go, 0.5 kilometers. There we go, that's all the separation we need. So we come in closer, and we look at our fuel level, Ridiculous, ridiculous. We probably could have used the probe's RCS, ditched this stage entirely, just smacked this probe on top of the main engine stack, and we would have been completely fine. Switching over to chase camera view, we shall point in the direction of the craft and jettison that fuel tank, and now we can RCS our way in. Now this one is odd. This is a really odd occurrence that happens. You can see the out of the ordinary thing we have here is the fact that our docking port is on the side, at the bottom. Now, naturally, you can imagine, oh, this might take up a bit more space, or this might offset the centre of mass somewhat, because this is the heaviest of all of them, due to the really big fuel tanks it's got. 3 toroidal ones. None of a pure probe uses that much fuel. But anyway, to get that laterally mounted thing to work, we need to tip this up, point it just in the direction we want it, and approach it carefully. Solar panels are out, but we probably want to pull them in. We don't want to go crashing in. We can sort that about now, I think, Harvey. There we go, retracting those panels. We don't need to do the other 3 because they're not in the way. But we bring it down nice and steady, and in the background, look at that! Solar eclipse from the moon. And don't look at that anymore, because now look at this. What on earth happened here? What's on Kerbal? What on... It's all twisted. Hello, it's bouncing and it's twisted, and what is going on? And things are shaking. It's... Man, that's not good. I mean, nothing's broken. And I can tell that because I can still control the solar panels at the top. But it's weird. It's like someone's glued the right-hand side of those tanks together, and it's just shaking like mad. My hopes are not high. And if I try to time accelerate, the thing becomes even more contorted and twisted, and it looks like a broken arm. Man, let's forget about it. Probe number 4, the ultimate probe. Let's move on. The pip switch. This is easier. Come on, it's compact. It's got its docking port on the top. I will have no problems with this whatsoever. Again, I'm trying to move things around to shift the centre of mass upwards, but that isn't really necessary. Trying to do that, but no, it's not needed. So let's just get on with the building. We'll put a decoupler there, and we'll put an advanced SES and a separator, and a fuel tank, and an LV99. Too much fuel again, but whatever. Putting 3 fuel tanks and an engine, too much fuel. Oh well, it works. What we can actually do is go back, carry on using just 4 times symmetry. Actually, no, I don't use 4 times, I use 2 and 2, because it's quicker, I think. But I only need to use 2 fuel tanks on top of those. And look, I'm using struts and putting them on the centre struts. Aren't I clever? Connect them all together. The pip switch 200. For some reason, whenever I think of pip switch, I think of orange pips. I don't know what it is. Just the seeds in oranges. I just think of them. I don't know why. Ignore me. Doesn't matter. There we go. We have our thing, and we can quickly sort out the staging. La di da da da, la di da, la di da. Done. And now we can set up our action group for those gimballing engines, save it, and launch. On to the launch pad. It is now night time. The only night launch we do, I think. Unless my memory has gone to pot, but never mind. Putting that into the crazy chase camera view that I used to like and now just makes me a bit sick. It doesn't really. I don't get mobility sickness. I think that's a really useful thing. You know, if you're a Kerbal naut, well, I'm not a Kerbal naut, obviously, but, you know, controlling Kerbal nauts, it's kind of useful not to get mobility sickness. So we raise up our apoapsis to the target altitude, nearly geostationary, actually just a bit above geostationary, so that it can catch us up, and we increase our speed, make it into orbit. Why am I showing you this footage? Because I thought I should. I felt obligated to. We can separate away from that and end its flight, switch back to the pip switch, and again, this is where we have that problem I think I briefly mentioned. Oh yeah, adjusting inclination first. Just really quickly, there we go. I'm warping, and I warp too much. It's now directly underneath us, which is not what we want. No matter, we can actually just burn and dip underneath the orbit like this to catch it back up at the correct time. Means our orbit is slightly off, but it's not really a problem. We get the thing completely fine. All it means is that we have a higher relative velocity, and that's no problem with our massive amounts of fuel we have. I can barely see a gap in the liquid fuel bar. Kind of like the likes and dislikes of my videos. Herp-de-derp-de-derp. Yeah, let's just get rid of that fuel tank, I think. It's not really necessary, is it? Is it? Do we need this? No, we don't, Harvey. You gonna get rid of it? No? Okay. There we go, detached. And we can turn around, point back towards our space station and dock the final probe! The final one! And as we're getting closer, we end that flight and switch back to it. If we actually switch over to the space station, we can see... Oh yeah, we can't set target, that's a shame. But we switch over to it, we can see those toroidal things have set themselves fine. That super glue must have worn out. In the few hours it took for us to get here, it must have just disappeared spontaneously. Whatever the case, this is our docking now, and it's not as sped up as the rest of this video was. In fact, it's reverting back to mere 2x speed about now. So, the stuttering frames may enter a little into this video. The main reason I sped all this up is because the FPS is getting unbearably slow. We get about 6 frames per second around the station now. God, I'm looking forward to my new specification. It doesn't help that I'm actually getting 60% of the payments I thought I was getting. That was... I suspected it all along, I just hoped. Whatever, I'm still getting enough money. We're on target, almost on target, to have enough money for the computer, for the new computer, by probably the end of February. That kind of time, we'll see. Everything is variable, everything is variable. Here we are, coming round to the last 3 remaining junior docking port. And we bring it up, align ourselves laterally. Love that word. I use it too much, I think. I think I use laterally out of context rather a lot. But whatever the case, we bring it in. I also say whatever the case now as well. That's weird. Bringing this in. There we go. We set our target, actually. Doing everything without instrumentation. Because I thought I could. I decided I wanted to. A bit more cinematic, you know. And there we go. That is our docking. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. And that's it. We can extend those solar panels. Well, we won't extend that one because it might hit the fuel tank above it because our orientation is not correct. Nah, it doesn't matter. It worked fine. You can see it worked fine. And we won't actually have them extended because I rather like having it a bit compact. So what do I want next? That's a hard question. Actually, no, it's a fairly easy question, actually, thinking about it now. Everyone, that's a bit of an overestimate. A lot of people in the comments section have been asking for me to put habitation modules on it. So, that's what I want. I want habitation modules. Oh, by the way, I'm going to clear up all the debris that's been annoying me throughout. But, yeah, we have 4 spaces here for 4 habitation modules. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have another episode with 4 things there. Maybe, I don't know, because we do have a limit on performance. No, well, we'll put 2 habitation modules, and we'll put another 2 of something else. And then we shall put another 1 on the very end, something special. And that shall be the end of the International Subscriber Space Station. And most likely we'll move on to doing something else, like a moon base or something. I don't know, we'll have to put some thought into that. But that is it. That is our International Subscriber Space Station. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked the video, then please do like the video. In order to submit your own modules for this, namely habitation modules, that are small enough to fit in this area. Please, nothing massive. Could be long, could be... No, not too long. Don't make it too long. Make it about the length of a Gigantor solar panel. That's like the limit. If you want to submit a module for that, you need to go to the forum link in the description. The forum thread we have set up for submission. I want to give a shout out to Twilight's Favourite Quill. Just thank you again so much for hosting the entire thread. Any submissions and things are all being dealt with by him, and I pick and choose my favourite ones from the submissions. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.